A budget deficit occurs when government spending is bigger than taxation, and a budget surplus occurs when government spending is less than taxes. And a national debt is the same thing as a public debt, and what that is the accumulation of past year's deficits. So make sure you understand that a deficit and a debt are totally different animals. So if we look at the first category here from 1980 till 1992, that would be the Reagan-Bush years. And Reagan's platform in 1980 was threefold. He said, I'm going to reduce marginal taxes, which he did. He said he was going to increase spending on the military, which he did. And he was going to balance the budget by 1984, which he did not do. But he said 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So in any event, those three platforms, they were part of his supply side philosophy. And during that 12-year period of the Reagan-Bush years, we went from a total federal debt, a national debt, public debt, we went from around $1 trillion to about $4 trillion within 12 years. So that's a 400% increase, and at the time it was the biggest expansion of debt in our history. It also led to a big recovery, which was good, but again, it increased our debt fourfold. From 1992 until the 2000 era, that was the Bill Clinton surplus years. He was lucky enough to preside during the dot-com bubble and boom. It was also during the Gingrich contract with America, so from a legislative standpoint, we had better control over our cost. And then the big red portion over here, the younger Bush and Obama. In the Bush program, they spent $700 billion on the TARP, and in 2008, maybe another $100 billion on a tax rebate. And as soon as Obama came into office, there was a $787 billion stimulus. And so during a recession, that's what we were in after 2008, tax collections go down, and that happens because of unemployment. So if there's not a lot of people working, they're not paying income taxes, and so tax collections go down. And then likewise, government spending goes up because of transfer payments like unemployment insurance. So during recessions, it's natural and typical for tax collections to go down, government spending to go up, which means you have a big deficit, which is what these red figures represent. You really need to listen to the program called Easy to Understand Budget Situation. It's a nonpartisan attempt to give just factual information. It's what I consider to be a must-see file. 2/3 of our budget is on autopilot. So when Congress gets together and they're debating things, mostly they're debating things on the 1/3 that's left over. Our major underlying problem going forward is going to be health care cost. And that's going to occur because there's been an increase in the age of our population. Boomers are living longer. And so the entitlement spending has dramatically increased over the last 50 years. And everything that I read, whether it's on the political left or the political right, everyone seems to suggest that the underlying problem is healthcare costs, because those costs have increased much faster than incomes have increased, or much faster than wages have increased, or much faster than the economy has increased. And we spend more both absolutely and relatively on healthcare costs than any other country in the world, yet we don't get as big a bang for our buck. In any event, these are the dynamics that play out with fiscal policy, so it's a very political type of thing, unlike monetary policy. That would be one of the distinguishing characteristics between the two.